How would you say that people around the person that's in a toxic relationship can help support them?
Please just listen.
Just
Just
listen.
don't give advice.
Yeah,
Don't
don't give unsolicited advice.
Please don't give advice. It's tempting because a lot of us are fixers. We hear someone we love is hurting and we want to help them.
Right, right. And we like genuinely love the person and like
Yeah,
it's our friend and we want to help and we can't see them getting hurt anymore. But what can we do?
we have to realize that we can't make decisions for people. And when their time comes that enough is enough, they've reached their breaking point, they will make the decision to leave. So all you can do is really be there for them, support them, ask, what do you need? Validate, I'm so sorry, that must be really hard. And something that I want to say to not do, don't shit talk the person, trash talk the partner, because a lot of times if you end up getting back together, it can make the situation really awkward and uncomfortable.
Hmm. Yeah, interesting. So, I have like a few friends in my life, or I would say like acquaintances, where I feel their relationship is toxic. Just witnessing them in like I don't know, like a dinner party or in a group thing. And I have witnessed some of these couples kind of fight or argue about certain things. And I have a feeling it's a very toxic relationship. And whenever my friend comes to me and want me to console them, I hold back on advice and I'm here to listen. But
Yeah.
also like it's so hard because I know you're in a toxic relationship and you
Mhm.
should leave. But then again, like you said, don't just say like, why don't you just leave?
Well, I think what you're doing sounds really helpful, Dr. Tara. And you could even say to them, like, oh, I noticed this was going on. I noticed they raised their voice at you while you were disagreeing. How does that make you feel in that moment? Because then if they don't realize that that is potentially maladaptive and not healthy, then you pointing that out and asking them how that makes them feel might help them to make that connection.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, like kind of planting a little seed so that they can think on their own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
The
learn.
next time their partner like kind of raised the voice again, then they can be like, "Ooh, Tara said that he did this before and is doing this
Yeah.
again."
Learning to build that inner voice, because oftentimes people that are in these situations, they feel like their voice doesn't matter, or their voice gets muzzled so deeply because they have their partner's voice in their head telling them you're bad, you're wrong. So we disconnect from our own inner voice. So it's learning to speak up and advocate for ourselves again, that is really crucial.
Totally. So in that realm of speaking up and advocating for ourselves and like healing, what are some ways people can heal from toxic relationship?
I think I would find something that you love to do. For me, this is journaling. I love writing
Mm.
because often when I felt like I didn't have a say or my voice was being overpowered, I could go to my journal and get my feelings out, and then I feel heard and seen. So that
Mhm.
for me has been tremendously helpful. But everyone's different, right? If you love going out in nature, if you love taking a yoga class, meditating,
Mhm.
doing something, an activity that you can do solo and independent from that person so that you can build your resilience again, because we
Mhm.
see codependence a lot of times in these situations. So kind of taking an hour or a day to yourself, learning what you like again, and really treating yourself to that loving care, I think is extremely critical. At least it was for me.
Yeah. And I think in this particular scenario where you're in a toxic relationship and maybe you just left that relationship, it's really important to like turn inward and like have some introspection,
Yeah.
right? A lot of times we live in this world on autopilot. I feel like a lot of people are on autopilot. Rarely do they look inward to critically examine themselves and like why they do certain things.
Yep.
And I feel activities like journaling, meditation, yoga, breath work,
Mm.
these types of activities, which can be sexual as well, right? Because I often talk about sexual mindfulness activities. I think these types of activities allow you to have space for introspection, to have space to uh, critically look inward.
Mm.
When I was 21, I think. Yeah, like 2021, I was also in a toxic relationship. I don't know if I can define it as abusive, but it was definitely toxic in ways where, I was unhappy. He was, very controlling. He was looking at my phone all the time, my emails all the time, not allowing me to go out to meet my friends. So kind of similar, like very toxic. But then what I did was I cheated on him because I was very unhappy and felt like I wasn't free. But then I didn't have the agency, the confidence to have an actual conversation.
Right.
So I did something shitty. I cheated on him and, I had sex with someone else and that really hurt him. And that ramped up the control.
Yeah.
Now I have to well, not right now, but like back then, when we went back into a relationship again, it was also on and off. But we were dating again. I had to send pictures of where I was.
Yeah.
It's insane to me being in my 30s to think I have to send pictures of who I'm with and where I was is so crazy that happens and still does to tons of people.
Yeah.
I have, a client that came to me and said, "Hey, Tara, is it normal that my husband wants me to video call every time I go out with my girlfriends?" I am like, that is not normal. It is not normal. You should be able to have your own space. You're with your girlfriends. Like, he doesn't need to be there, through your phone. So that makes me feel like a lot of people are still experiencing this control and toxicity in their relationship. Through your experience as a podcaster and, a sex educator, what other toxic symptoms have you seen in toxic relationships?
Sure. And Tara, I just want to say that is abusive, and I'm sorry you went through that. My ex did the same thing to me. I had to FaceTime him where I was just to prove I wasn't.
Yeah.
That is emotionally abusive, and abuse comes down to power and control. And that is removing your bodily autonomy and making it so that you are controlled and contained, and it's not healthy.
Yeah. But then the nuances of it is I couldn't justify not doing it because I cheated on him.
I don't think that matters, honestly. And a lot of people in abusive or toxic relationships will cheat because often when someone tells us you're not allowed to do this, you can't do this, it's psychology. We want to rebel.
Right.
I can do it. It's not an excuse. I've completely been there, but it's also part of healing and coming out of a toxic relationship is recognizing those toxic patterns within ourselves as well, because it's never decided. If we are in a toxic relationship, it's because some part of us unhealed is drawn to that, and that is affirming what we experienced in childhood. It's affirming how we feel about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's kind of like confirming all of our fears are coming true, and that's manifesting outwardly in the relationship.
Thanks for listening. This was Luvbites. By Dr. Tara. Follow Dr. Tara on social media at luvbites.co. Have an orgasmic day.